Hello Planeswalkers! Andrew here, joined by Tyler, on a brand new Top 5 video. Today we're listing off our favorite Izzet Commanders. Now, these are our personal favorites, so be sure to tell us about your favorite red-blue commanders in the comments below. Now, let's get started. First up on my list is Dalicos, Crafter of Wonders. This fishy inventor appears to be a reference to Daedalus and Icarus with those wings he's building. This is reflected in his passive ability that gives all of your equipped creatures flying. It's definitely refreshing to have an equipment commander that's in blue and isn't in white or black, so you can run cards like Urza and Emery, Lurker of the Loch. Plus, giving your equipped creatures flying is a sweet ability. But what, you might ask, happens when you equip a creature with Colossus Hammer? Do they gain Schrodinger's flying? No. No, they don't. It's actually a lot less exciting than that. If Dalicos is played after Colossus Hammer equips a creature, they get flying. If you play Dalicos and then equip Colossus Hammer, they don't get flying. Lame.
As per my tradition, let's kick off this list with a lie and a deceit. I'm not quite into what people would call good cards or winning strategies. Instead, I like shiny objects, so my number 5 pick is the specific pair of Akun, Eye of Chaos, and Cindersplit, Eye of Wisdom. Two halves of a whole convoluted machine that flips coins. You heard me right. These two, who embody what each of their colors stands for, red angry punches for Akun and blue smart cardboard retrieval for Cindersplit, can't even get their abilities off well unless you win a coin flip. Granted, each of them let you theoretically flip a metric buttload of coins, but they also can do stone cold nothing. And that's how I like it. Red has a plethora of coin flipping effects, including an alternate win con in Chance Encounter, and blue, while lacking red's chaos and randomness, has the means of protecting its impulsive red partner. It's all or nothing, cowards. Look, I'm a simple man. I don't like not knowing things. Taking the number 4 spot on my list is, it's not quite really a man? Huh. Weird. Yeah, that fits. Weird. It's Melik, Izzet Paragon. This gelatinous looking friend gives you, and everyone else at the table, but honestly who cares, a look at the top card of your deck, as well as the ability to cast said spell if it's an instant or a sorcery. If all that wasn't enough, Melik also copies anything cast from your library. He's a real friend like that, offering you free value for no mana investment. Most spell slingers at least make you pay some mana on top of what you're using to cast the spell, but not this guy. It's all free.
For number 4, I chose Brutaclad, Telcor Engineer. Have I mentioned I enjoy going wide because I love going wide and Brutaclad loves it too. Each combat step, he makes a 2/1 mirror token. Then you can choose a token and turn all of your other tokens into copies of it. This can make for some crazy tricks, like turning a ton of treasures into 2/1 mirrors, or doing the opposite for a ton of mana. Zendikar brought some fun stuff for this deck, like Skyclave Relic that, when kicked, grants you an indestructible mana rock that you can turn your tokens into, and Lithoform Engine can make a token copy of any permanent spell you cast. On top of all the utility he packs, Brutaclad has a sick visual design, like some huge, lanky Phyrexian mirror, which, who knows, that could be exactly what he is. He is from the future, after all. Thirdly is totally not foreshadowing anything in this video at all, why would you ask? It's Niv-Mizzet Draco Genius. While not the first version of the character I built around, Niv-Mizzet is still one of my favorite characters in all of Magic. I think I love Omnath a little bit more as a creature, but Omnath is pretty one-dimensional as a character. That is to say, he's basically just a force of nature and not actually a living thing. Niv-Mizzet, on the other hand, is an ancient dragon wizard who founded the Izzet and has been formulating plans for every disaster that could possibly come to pass, as evidenced by the fact that he planned to be killed in War of the Spark and managed to come back to life even stronger. This card in particular is an alright card draw engine. 2 mana to hit something for 1 and draw a card is pretty good, and you could repeat it. It kind of makes sense that he has such a big ego.
Taking my number 3 spot is a creature so conceited that he had 4 different versions of himself printed, which I guess flavor-wise, does fit his ego. Not to mention, it wouldn't be a list of mine if I didn't try to shoehorn in a dragon. It's Niv Mizzet! Specifically, Niv Mizzet Perun, his third incarnation before dying and coming back as a full 5-color powerhouse. Niv has always been a red-blue powerhouse staple, with his abilities around drawing and pinging targets, making it real easy to go quasi-infinite with cards like Curiosity. Perun, while technically being more difficult to cast with his requirement of 3 of each of his colors, just makes these combos even easier to do by drawing you cards for having your opponents basically just play the game. The fact that he's also uncounterable means that your opponents will never come out ahead, since a single kill spell will net you a card and also let you either zot down an X1 or ping an opponent's face. Win-win. Storming into the silver spot at number 2 is Thoros' god of, well, storms. Keranos follows the same basic requirements and abilities that his brethren come with, namely being indestructible and not being a creature if his devotion requirements aren't met. In his case, a devotion to red and blue of 7 or more. As for his unique abilities, he makes you reveal the first card you draw on each of your turns and allows you to either draw an extra card if you reveal a land, or bolt any target if it's anything else. It works amazingly alongside cards like Melik, or the vast amounts of scrying available to his colors, allowing you to set up what you need much easier than if you left it up to chance. I also like the flavor of his abilities, reflecting how quick his temper is to flare up for no reason at all. You know, kinda like the wind in a storm. Someone ought to tell Wizards about that. I think it could be a real clever title for him.
Okay, I know what you're going to say. Why would you make 30% of the 10 creatures in this list Niv Mizzet? And to that I say because I can. Niv Mizzet, the Firemind, is my number 2 pick and the first deck I ever built around, and also the third Niv Mizzet to be featured in this list. This card beats out Draco Genius because of nostalgia, full disclosure. I still remember having 2/3 of the deck as paper printouts stuck to random cards because I wasn't sure if I wanted to invest in the game or not yet. Such good memories. Now, spoilers. My number 1 pick is going to be the 4th Niv Mizzet Reborn. Specifically, in a deck that doesn't run any white, black, or green. You drop Niv Mizzet and you always get one and only one 2-color spell. And it's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to brew it on stream. It's going to be 5-color, 2-color. That's not happening. No, that's a lie. My number 1 pick is the only one of these creatures I still have a deck built around, and that's the Locust God. This is the commander of my Izzet deck today, and the one that took over the deck from Niv Mizzet. So he's my second ever commander, which also makes him hugely nostalgic for me. This commander goes wide and does it super well. So well, in fact, that he tends to get removed as soon as I play him. Yeah, I love it, I hate it, I love it, hate it. Anyways, he makes a 1/1 flyer with haste every time you draw a card, and using card draw spells gets you value in your hand as well as advancing your board state, which is what I really love about this card. What's also nice is when he dies, you return him to your hand at the beginning of the next end step, so you never have to spend commander tax on it unless it's exiled. Consume the sky with your swarm of locusts.
Monkey Goblin and he's a birdman, Monkey Goblin and he's a birdman, Monkey Goblin and he's a birdman, sundries and munitions! Taking my number 1 spot are the lovable pair of Breaches and Malcolm. While introduced into the card game through Commander Legends, these two were actually brought into Magic Stories several years ago during Ixalan block as part of Vraska's pirate crew. Ixalan has a very special place in my heart, mainly because dinosaurs were reintroduced, but also because of the huge amount of specific and general tribal support that we got. I wasn't that interested in building pirates at the time, but with these two finally getting released, coming with partner, and caring about pirates as a tribe, I finally decided to sit down and brew around them. They aren't overly flashy or off the scales powerful, but they're two charming characters sharing a single brain cell for one of my favorite Magic planes of all time, at a time when Magic Story was really good. So, here we are.
Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and think about subscribing. Helps us out a lot. Tell us what your favorite red and blue commanders are in the comments below. And with that, we bid you good day.